Hey everyone, I'm Alex.
And I'm Courtney. And this is Nerds at Odds.
Nerds at Odds is your weekly podcast about all things in nerd culture and beyond. And if you want to get the show 4 days early, ad-free, and with the ability to submit your questions, comments, and concerns, head on over to patreon.com/nerdsatodds.
You can also check us out on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter at Nerds at Odds.
And if you want to leave a rating and a review on the podcast service that you're using to listen to this show, that would really help us out and grow our audience. And also remember, everybody, that this is going to be a 2-part Christmas bonanza. It's a complete blowout for the holiday season. So be sure to check out both parts for a complete spectacular.
Yes.
Courtney, what have you been doing recently?
So I tried the Yule Festival on the Assassin's Creed Valhalla update.
Yeah, it just came out at the time of recording this a couple of days ago. It hasn't been out too long, and I believe it's out until the middle of January, the first week of January. It's out for a couple weeks after Christmas.
I think it was like 19 days or something. So.
Yeah, so you have time to check it out. What do you think about it so far?
It is buggy.
The biggest things that I've seen is that the quest markers will tell you that the quest is all the way across the map or sometimes on a different continent.
Yeah, so the two big ones are looking for the cows.
Yeah.
And just like it'll be like, hey, go back with this guy to the town to his mom, and it's like, yeah, it's 1,000 miles that way, and I'm like, I know it's not that far that way, but sure. And then like looking for the missing brew, so like someone's beer gets stolen or ale gets stolen, I guess, and no joke, you get the ale. And then it tells you the wrong way to go until you get close enough to the quest, and it's like, oh, you go right here. And then you're carrying this thing of ale, and wolves show up. And if you get attacked by the wolves while you're holding the ale, it disappears, and you have to go back to the place where the ale was, grab it, take it back. The wolves respawn. So you have to put down the barrel of ale, kill all the wolves, and then pick it back up. Otherwise, it will despawn.
For those of you who don't know what it's about, there's the Yule Festival. It's kind of like this winter holiday festival for the Vikings. And somebody in town's like, oh, I made all these Yule tokens that you can get for completing events. And if you collect enough of them, you can get... There's an armor set that's pretty good.
Yeah,
they can get.
It's one of the better ones in the game, I think.
Yeah. There's a weapon and a shield.
Yep.
There's like 8 or so cosmetic things for your camp. And there's 6 or so tattoos. So there's a lot of things to collect.
The amount of tokens you can get is kind of low. Like, you get a certain amount for starting the Yule Festival. Mm-hmm. And then you get a decent amount for the quests.
Yeah.
The 2 quests that actually, like, matter.
Yeah, the 2 that are non-repeatable.
Yeah, and then the arrow thing only gives you, like, I got 30 the first time I did it.
If you get above 1,000, it seemed like you got 30.
Yeah, and then, like, the drinking contest, I got 10.
Yeah.
And I only messed up once.
I think you might get 10 no matter what, as long as you win the drinking contest.
So, and then the brawl, I don't know how many I got for completing all 10 rounds.
Yeah, it's a long event though.
It's a long event. And the first, like, I completed all the stuff once. All the quests, the brawl, everything. I only had like 400 and something tokens.
Yeah.
I was able to buy all the armor pieces. I couldn't buy any of the weapons because they're like 150 each. And then I bought the cosmetic stuff for the settlement, and then maybe 1 tattoo.
Yeah, so it looks like to get the rest of the stuff, you'd probably have to play the repeatable quests a couple dozen times, assuming you get 10 each.
I'm gonna try and do the brawl
again
and see how much that gets me, because I'm fairly good with the fighting mechanic. I had to use my rations twice because they got this like big burly dude that just chucks you. He
Yeah.
just chucks you
I
against
don't-
everything.
I don't know if the rounds have like the same guys each time,
No, it doesn't.
but it seems like the big burly guy. I think you get him around 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
He seemed like the only actual hard one.
He was pretty difficult. I was expecting like someone big for round 10, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad.
What it seems to me is that the game has like a pool of people,
Mhm.
and it's like randomly selects 10. So these 10 could be in any order. There might be new ones next time. That's what it seems like.
Maybe. But, it's fine. But if I'm having to, like, nickel and dime, because I've got to get 150 and 150, I need to get at least, like, 400, 500 more Yule tokens to get
Yeah.
all the stuff. So it's just going to be grinding to get that, and it kind of makes me not want to play.
Well, you don't have to do that. You can just keep playing the game.
No, I have to.
Yeah.
It's a problem, I understand.
Well, it's a free update for those of you who don't know, so you can dabble with it. You cannot. I guess it really doesn't matter in the end.
I've also been reading Midnight Sun.
Yes, the first Twilight book from Edward's perspective.
Yes, so it's Twilight, but from Edward's point of view. I don't think I mentioned this in the last
I
recording.
don't think you had started reading it yet.
I'm pretty sure I was like, I finished Song in the Silence.
Yeah.
And then, so far, it's pretty good. I don't know if Stephenie Meyer's going to do all the books. It doesn't seem like she's going to. I think she wants to do other stuff, which is fine. I love her other... I love The Host. If you've never read The Host, it's really good. It must take a lot of effort, because if I were to put both books side by side and, like, compare, it's got to be pretty accurate to do something like this. Otherwise, fans, I think, would be upset.
Do you think this is a book that you could read? I have a couple questions that are kind of the same thing. First, if you were going to read the Twilight series, could you substitute Midnight Sun for Twilight and start with it and then go forward?
No.
Okay.
You would be entirely lost.
If you're trying to read the Twilight series for the first time,
yes,
would you recommend people read Twilight, Midnight Sun, and then the rest?
No.
So you think Midnight Sun you have to read after you've read all the other books?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And now, maybe the hardest question. Is Midnight Sun better than the first Twilight book?
It's hard to compare because I haven't read Twilight in years.
And also maybe some of the enjoyment from Midnight Sun is because you're such a big fan of the series.
Yeah, I mean, the movies were a little bit of a disappointment for me.
Yeah.
I didn't like some of the actor choices. That's just my personal opinion.
And the first one is kind of low budget seeming.
The first one, it's like it's filmed in like sepia. I think it's just blue and gray and depressing. The second one, like, Edward's not there for like most of it. And then, like, I don't even remember the third one that well. And then the fourth one and fifth one, you're like, can we just get to some stuff happening, please? And then the fifth one, you're like, what are they doing? But, I think we need to buy all the books.
Maybe.
Like a set.
Well, we've been talking about doing episodes where we read books and compare them to the movie versions.
Yes.
So we had an idea with doing Harry Potter. Both of us have read the first and second book pretty recently.
Yes.
You're on the fifth one, I'm only on the third one.
Yes.
But we had an idea, like, watch those movies and compare them to the first and second book and maybe do a couple episodes about that.
Yeah.
Probably not back to back, but over, like, a span of a year or so, right?
And we're also thinking about doing that with Narnia.
Yeah.
And
whatever other book series, honestly, they've made.
Possibly Twilight. It's the only way I can get them to watch it.
Yeah. Speaking of Narnia, I'll hop in here. I've been reading The Chronicles of Narnia. I started with Lion Witch and the Wardrobe because they don't have a movie about the first book, so I figured I'd watch the one they have a movie about.
The prequel book.
Yeah. And then I went back and am now reading The Magician's Nephew, which is a prequel book, but C.S. Lewis apparently wanted people to read it first. That's why it's presented as the first book. Though I think, as someone who's read most of these books before and I'm reading them again now, I still think Lion Witch and the Wardrobe is the book you have to read first. Because Magician's Nephew does not grab you like Lion Witch in the Wardrobe does. Yeah, I feel like you get introduced to Narnia and you care about the world in Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
And then Magician's Nephew's like, oh, how did this all come about? I don't know if it's as engrossing if it's the first one you read.
I suppose. It's interesting, though.
Yeah, no, I really like it. I think C.S. Lewis is a great author.
It's very religious.
Yeah, it is very... you can clearly see what he's going for here. Though the scene with Aslan's sacrifice in the book,
Mm-hmm.
it was so dark. I was like, it impressed me. I was like, oh, this is pretty dark. I didn't expect you to go this far. So,
well, we were talking about like why they only did like 3 movies in the Narnia series, and it's
Something
because of the Pevensies. It's because once you lose all of them, it's kind of like difficult to want people to keep paying attention.
yeah, I think it's hard. We talked about this all podcast, but I think it's hard to make a movie about these books, like if you did 7 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I suggest a TV show, which maybe be a little better.
It would still be difficult.
I feel like perhaps you have to kind of focus on Aslan as the main character.
He doesn't show up that often. He's not like he's not in the first book like at all.
He's in all the books at some point.
Yeah, but
he comes and goes quite often.
Yeah, like Prince Caspian, I don't remember him in it very much.
I feel like, I mean, C.S. Lewis wrote the Chronicles of Narnia with Narnia being the main character.
Yeah,
basically.
Narnia's the world that you're learning about.
Yeah. And that's hard to translate to a TV or movie.
I remember when the movie started coming out first, and I was like, are they going to do The Horse and His Boy next? That one's kind of a sleeper.
They did not.
And they didn't.
From what I've read, the planned 4th one was The Silver Chair.
Yeah, they were basically just going to skip The Horse and His Boy, which is fine.
And The Magician's Nephew.
And The Magician's Nephew, which is also fine.
I feel like if they were going to do a TV series, they should do the TV series about what the children do as kings and queens of Narnia.
That could be interesting. It's like my idea about having the TV series about the Marauders.
Yeah.
Years.
I feel like that is more likely to happen because J.K. Rowling can write that still. Yeah. And you would have to get permission from C.S. Lewis's family to create something new in his world, which seems unlikely.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I've been playing some more Cyberpunk, though I've fallen off of it kind of recently. I think maybe some of the things that's going on with the refunds and it getting delisted and how that all has handled it has kind of soured it in my mouth a little bit right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having fun with it, but maybe I also want to wait for patches and updates and stuff. So I've returned to Jedi Fallen Order to get the platinum. The map is ridiculously poorly designed, in my opinion.
I forgot to mention something about Assassin's Creed.
What?
With a romance option.
Oh, yes.
So, they fixed the bug I was having before.
With the quest.
With a quest and a place. Which, if you'll play the game, you'll understand why I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
But, so, my character was dating Petra, who is, like, the hunting person.
Yeah.
She's very cute. Very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
She's great. But there's this baking guy that I like, and he kind of reminds me of Henry Cavill. You said the same thing.
He looks like Henry Cavill.
He looks like Henry Cavill. If Henry Cavill had like the long hair up in a bun.
Yeah, if Henry Cavill's Witcher hair was Henry Cavill's normal hair, like color and all that, it would look like this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's this quest where you fish with him, and then you can like date him.
Yeah.
And be in a committed relationship with this guy. So the fishing quest is bugged, and you never stop fishing.
Yeah.
So I had to reload before the fishing started, and I can't date him.
Yeah,
so I'm still dating Petra, and I feel bad. And I'm like, should I just break up with Petra? But no, it's Yule Festival. I can't do that.
Yeah. It's just adding some realism to your experience.
It's interesting. But, I like this new guy. Yeah. I can't remember his name.
Because you haven't been able to spend much time with him because you guys just fish and fish and fish.
And fish. But like he's got this like tragic backstory and everything. I sound just like my sister. Oh, the main bad guy, or the main guy has a tragic backstory. I love him. So the bugs, man.
Yeah.
Why are all these new games having so many bugs?
It is odd.
I realize that they're having to deal with like putting it on a new system and that sort of thing, but like take time, you know. And they did add the dual
DualSense's haptic feedback for the bow.
Yeah.
So that's cool. You enjoying that?
It's interesting.
Yeah. The only other thing I've been playing is Star Wars Squadrons. I downloaded the trial for it, which is a 10-hour trial, but it only lets you play the first story mission. And it was like, buy the game for the rest of the story or play multiplayer. So I played some multiplayer. It's fine. You fly ships in Star Wars. And now, lastly, let's get into some spoiler-free discussions of the last episode of Mandalorian Season 2. Spoiler-free, because next week's episode is Season 2 spoiler, talk, review, all of that.
Yeah, it will be spoilery.
Yeah, well, we might start with 10 or so minutes of spoiler-free review as a season as a whole, maybe.
Yeah.
And then hop into spoilers, but next week we're going to go all out for that. But real quick, Episode 8, spoiler-free, what did you think?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
This might be one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen.
It was pretty good.
This is the best episode of Mandalorian by far. Not by far, I mean, last episode was really great too, but this episode was fantastic.
My favorite thing was you standing up.
Yeah, I was standing up and like jumping up and down and getting into it, screaming.
I was up next to the TV because I was playing with Kita, because I'm not as invested, and there was like some monologuing happen. I started just like paying attention and standing, and then you joined me.
Yeah, it was something to behold. I'll tell you what. I saw a tweet from the vice president of PR for Bethesda talking about how if you took this episode and the two before it and made those into like a 2-hour-long Star Wars movie by just putting them together, he's like, it would be the best Star Wars movie I've seen since the 80s. So it's great. The end of this episode is amazing. And if you stay till the end of the credits, you'll get a treat. So be sure to watch the entirety of this episode if you haven't already.
Yeah, watch to the end.
And I have some thoughts on that we'll discuss next episode.
Yes. But that should be everything. So, back to that Christmas movie list.
Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of our Christmas special.
Christmas!
And now we're going to get on into 20 through 1, worst to best, our Christmas films. So we went through 20 through 21 last episode. We talked about our favorite Christmas songs, Christmas memories, traditions, and we did the whole rigmarole. And now into part 2. But real quick, we paused for a couple minutes because Courtney got her MeUndies. What are these, slippers?
Hard sole slippers.
Yeah, hard sole slippers in the Christmas theme. They have, is that a llama or an alpaca?
I think the pattern is called Llama Rama.
Yeah, and it's got a scarf on it. How do you like them?
They're nice and snug. They sold out of my size the first go around, so I was finally able to get them. And they're nice and snug with my small size feet. And they've got I think it's Sherpa.
Yeah. I got a matching pair as well, and they were very nice.
Yes.
So
yours are a little bit bigger. You got the large size, right?
Yeah. I feel like if I wanted a snug pair, I should have got medium, but...
Mine are very snug. Walking around in them, it feels like they've got some, like, cushioning.
Yeah. They're very nice. So let's hop on into these films.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored by MeUndies, but hey MeUndies, if you want to throw us...
If you want to sponsor us.
Yeah, we love your products. We have socks, underwear, slippers. Courtney has a onesie.
I do have a onesie.
We love your products. So, now on into number 20. So you want to go through 25 through 21 just for a quick recap?
Yeah, sure. So 25, Year Without a Santa Claus, I disagreed. 24, Star Wars, Lego Holiday Special. 23, Rudolph, I feel like it should have gone lower. 22, Jack Frost, I liked it. Alex thought it was kind of sad. 21, Frosty the Snowman, meh, I feel like it should have gone lower.
Now number 20.
Number 20.
Home Alone 2 at an average.
It's not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. I just feel like it's the first one, again, kinda, in New York this time.
Well, I just, like, this family, right? It's like, you leave this one kid at home on accident, and then you do it again, but you mess up even more, and this kid goes to New York while you guys go to, like, they go to some tropical place.
Yeah.
I think it's Florida.
But yeah, so it is weird. It's fine. You'd probably watch it if you've watched the first one, like a back-to-back double feature every year. But it's not as good as the first one. It's just, let's do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I do like, you get the bandits back again.
Mhm.
They're great. Instead of the wet bandits this year, they're the sticky bandits. More hijinks ensue. He runs up the credit card. You got some good actors, but it's basically the same thing.
Next on the list at number 19 is The Spirit of Christmas. It's a Lifetime movie.
I think it's Lifetime original movie.
Mhm.
It's basically a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
It's got the same feel.
Yeah.
It's this guy. He was like
He was a bootlegger during World War I times.
Was it World War I?
It's around that time. It's like the 19-teens. 1920s.
Yeah, somewhere around
It's around that era, yeah.
It could have been earlier. He is coming back from Canada.
Yeah.
At Christmas time to see his love, and he gets murdered.
Yeah.
And he's been living in the house that he lived in forever since then, and this woman comes and she works for a place that's gonna buy the hotel as it is now.
Yeah.
And basically demolish it. And love with a ghost.
Yeah. And
who becomes corporeal for Christmas.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be super mushy and I was going to hate it, but I thought it was enjoyable. I let Courtney pick one Lifetime film to watch a year, and this
Hallmark,
is it.
Or Lifetime.
Yeah.
No, we watch this one every year. We've watched it every year
so
far.
Yeah, that's your
really
one
like
pick.
It. I might watch a few more.
Yeah. But I thought it was going to be a little more lovey-dovey, mushy type of stuff as it is, but I liked it.
No, usually the Christmas movies aren't like lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
They're like hijinks.
Yeah.
And stuff bring people together.
Yeah, I feel like the plot is the proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds, but a little worse, and that's the plot of most of these films.
No, usually it's like either it's like these people broke up and they're gonna get back together because Christmas, or it's like a dad who is single and maybe his kid wants to help hook him up for Christmas, or there's pet ones. It's all over the board. I love Hallmark movies. They're very similar, but slightly different.
Yeah.
And that's enough for me.
I approve this one, so if you're going to throw one on your list, just The Spirit of Christmas is pretty good. I gave it an average.
There was a Netflix one that was done in Australia. It was like Australian Christmas thing. I think it was Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, it's the middle of summer for them, but yeah. Which seems weird.
I think it was Christmas. It's hard to remember.
Yeah. Is it weird that in Australia Christmas is the middle of summer?
I mean, no, it's just weird to us. I guess because all of the...
Well, I guess in the southern hemisphere, all the southern hemisphere is in the summer.
Yeah, I assume, like, in the west here, where we are, northern hemisphere as well, there's all the, like, oh, yeah, I have the white Christmas and all that stuff. And I assume in Australia, they have their own branding.
Yeah.
Of
it's like, if you ain't surfing on Christmas, what are you doing? That's the idea.
It's like, I think in Japan, like, a big Christmas thing to have is, like, KFC for some strange reason.
You know what? We were talking about lunch earlier. I'm thinking let's get a box of KFC.
No.
No?
No.
So, next movie, 18, is The Polar Express.
It holds up.
I hadn't seen this movie since second grade because back in primary school, we would, like, line our chairs up like a train and drink hot cocoa and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this movie cannot look good now. You know?
No, it looks fine.
It was the most expensive animated film ever made. And I think that money was well spent because turning it on, I'm like, this looks amazing.
There's some Uncanny Valley stuff.
Yeah, no, yes, the character models do look Uncanny Valley. But I'm like, this would be a top tier video game cutscene these days. This looks good.
The hot chocolate thing, people love that. Yeah. I remember back in elementary school going on like one of the trains and they're like, oh, it's the Polar Express, and then you get the little bell.
Yeah.
And you have some hot chocolate. You ride the train for a bit. it's a time.
I think it's a good movie. It looks great still. The story's good. I felt it was a little meandering. I think a lot of these movies are that. It's kind of hard to stretch these out into feature-length films because it's based off a children's book.
Yes. It's interesting, though, because, like, we live in a town where they have a train that does the Polar Express thing, and we don't really see it that much. But back in my hometown, there was a town near us that did the Polar Express thing, and you would go there around Christmas time, and people would just be walking around in their pajamas. Because they're like, oh, we're about to get on the Polar Express. And, like, adults, and then, like, a baby. And I'm like, the baby doesn't understand.
Listen, when we have a baby, I'm going to use that as a way to do childish things again. Even though they're not... I want to do the pajama thing.
I'm going to have to take care of the baby while you do the childish things.
Me and the kid dressed in matching pajamas, both hot cocoa, me in a mug, them in a bottle, and we're just hanging out.
No.
Yes, I'm going to give this 6-month-old hot cocoa in a bottle, and we're just going to hang out. It's milk-based anyways.
That's a different milk.
So anyways, 18, I think it's a yearly thing. I just think it's stretched out a bit.
It's great. I do remember one year in high school... They were like, oh, well, what Christmas movie do you want to watch? We were all in the auditorium. And one girl said the Polar Express. And the principal was like, no. and that was the end of it.
Next up on this list at number 17, I put Jingle All the Way. I like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's an entertaining actor.
Yeah.
This movie is kind of all over the place tonally.
It's weird.
And it's just, yeah, I think the appeal of it is seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger. I like the premise, but it gets lost in the weeds sometimes because you have to have almost be an action star still, you know?
Yeah. I think, it's good. He's trying to get a present for his kid.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Wait. Oh, I think I'm thinking about The Pacifier with Vin Diesel instead.
No,
I haven't seen Kindergarten.
With Arnold.
No, I've seen the one with Vin Diesel.
Okay, well that's...
Oh, no, I'm also thinking of Daddy Daycare with Eddie Murphy. I've seen that one too.
Okay, not the same.
No?
Anyway,
okay.
Kindergarten Cop, you got Arnold, he's a cop, he's trying to, catch this, big drug guy, finds this drug guy's old wife who's been in hiding with her kid, and basically just trying to protect them.
Yeah.
But he gets, he's basically becomes the substitute teacher for this class of kindergartners.
Yeah.
It's real fun. And hijinks ensue, and he falls in love with the mom of the kid.
Yeah, so Jingle All the Way, dumb action film with Arnold. It's whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah. Next up, number 16th, Miracle on 34th Street. This one, we were planning on watching the 1994 version, but we had to rent it, and we had the original one.
Yeah, the black and white.
Yeah, so we decided just to watch that one instead. And Courtney, what do you think about this film?
I mean, it's a little slow.
Yeah, I felt that.
It's old.
Yeah, these older movies, even from the 80s, felt
it's black and white.
Yeah, old and dated.
They put Santa Claus on trial because they're like, he's mentally incompetent.
It's a very unique premise.
It's basically Santa goes down to New York, gets into the Macy's parade. He becomes Santa at Macy's. The kids love him. The adults think he's senile. They're like, oh, he's harmless though. And then they put him in a home, and basically there's this one guy who's a lawyer, and he's like, well, how do you know he's not Santa? And so basically there's a whole court trial of well, Santa's real. Mm-hmm. And then the way he wins the case is that the United States Postal Service got a bunch of letters from Santa, and they delivered them to the guy in the jail or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, well, this is a government agency saying that this man is Santa, so he's Santa, you can't say anything. And then and then it turns out he actually is Santa.
Yeah, it's a weird movie to show your kids, though. I feel like the whole premise of Santa being locked up on trial.
Well, it's just it's because, you get the thing of well, adults don't believe in Santa. And so it's kind of showing kids well, adults are dumb. Don't listen to them. Santa's real. Yeah,
I just think its age shows. It's a bit slow.
Well, I mean, it's a black and white movie. Yeah. If we could have watched the other one, it would have...
Well, maybe next year we'll rent that one instead of settling.
Okay.
But it's average. I put it at 16th. Next, 15th, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas we're getting into the entertaining, excellent ones. This is the first entertaining one.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first one. We didn't watch Twice Upon a Christmas, but
No.
The
Twice Upon a Christmas looked weird.
yeah. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, it's 3 short stories, I guess, about 20, 30 minutes each.
Yeah.
Which one was your favorite? Because they have Donald, Goofy, and Mickey each have a story. Which one did you like the most?
I like the Mickey one the most. It's basically, it's a tale that I've heard before.
Yeah, it's based off a story.
It's based off a story. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. But the original story is like, a woman has beautiful hair, and the guy has like a really nice watch.
Mhm.
And the woman sells all of her hair to get a gold chain for the guy's watch, and the guy sells his watch to get a beautiful comb for the woman's hair.
Mm.
And it's like the joy of giving is more important than the joy of receiving,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Well, I think as people age and get older, I think that becomes true for them anyways.
Yeah, and it's sort of also a thing of like, even though it's sort of one of those things where it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
You know, like even though he doesn't have the watch anymore,
He can't use this chain.
He can't use the chain. She gave up something that was really important to her for him,
Yeah.
and he gave up something that was really important to him for her.
I think I like the Goofy one the most.
But the Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one the most.
I feel like it was a little meandering because there was that whole part about the Christmas letter, and then
Yeah. I mean, but they all like 20, 30 minutes, so it kind of gets in and out if you take them separately than as a whole.
Pete's in 2 of them.
Yeah, Pete is in 2 of them.
I don't know. I think it goes like the Mickey one, and then the Ducks.
Really? Because
one.
I didn't like the Donald Duck one that much because I'm like, I get it, it's the Groundhog Day scenario. This is a 25-minute long thing. We are resetting this day too many times, you know? We're doing the same things over and over. It takes a little while for them to start doing different stuff, you know?
It went, yeah, I feel like I would immediately do different stuff.
Yeah.
They, like, take forever.
Yeah, like, they live out the same day 2 or 3 times.
Their first initial thing is, let me be worse.
Well, yeah.
Like, if we're gonna change things, we'll make it worse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's how it is, you know, with, like, the Groundhog Day situation, with that situation. These aren't, like, super nice people getting into these situations.
Yeah.
These are, like, kind of not great people getting into these
and
situations.
you have to learn to be a better person or something, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the moral of all these tales. But yeah, I like the Goofy one the most. I like the father-son dynamic, I suppose.
Mhm.
I liked Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. Definitely something we watch every year, I think. Maybe we'll try it Twice Upon a Christmas next year. I gave it an entertaining. 14. Charlie Brown's Christmas. I gave it an entertaining. It was another one of these short ones, in and out.
I really like all the Charlie Brown specials.
Yeah.
The Christmas one, the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, it's the Thanksgiving
the
one
Thanksgiving one. There's a ton of.
Yeah, I feel like the only problem I had with this one was that it has like this anti-commercialism statement.
Essentially, yes.
Which I'm like, that's cool and all, you know, Christmas is too commercial, I get it. But you're a product that you're selling to people and people are going to buy it, and you know people are going to buy it because it's Christmas themed, right? Like, it's.
But you could watch it for free.
Yeah, but that's Apple TV decided to do that. This movie was made 60 years ago.
Yeah, but 60 years ago, it's not like they were giving it away for free, but you could watch it on TV.
Yeah, I just find it weird.
It's not like we couldn't find it anywhere to buy it.
Yeah.
And it's just like a comic in the newspaper. You know?
I mean that's just a little nitpick. I still think it's a fun movie you can watch each year at Christmas. I'll put it at 14.
Okay, fine.
Next up, The Family Man with Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage and what's his name? I forget his name.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking the wife's name. I don't know her name.
I don't know her name.
No. I thought it was an excellent movie.
It's so good.
Nick Cage is great in it. This is back when he was Oscar-winning Nick Cage from Leaving Las Vegas and all that. He's still a good actor. And I thought the movie was good. I liked the plot of it.
My sister's favorite Nick Cage movie.
She hasn't seen Leaving Las Vegas, though.
I think she's forgetting National Treasure.
I think she's forgetting Gone in 60 Seconds.
I don't know if we've seen that.
That's a great movie. He's a car thief.
I don't know if we've
Angelina
seen that.
Jolie's in it. It has like a huge cast of good actors.
I don't know if we've seen
Yeah.
that.
The Family Man I thought was an excellent movie. I really like the premise and the story. It's one of these that's like Home Alone or Die Hard, though. It's Christmas because it's set in Christmas time.
No, it's not Christmas because it's set in Christmas time. It's Christmas because he's learning the importance of family, and then it goes back to Christmas.
When I mean Christmas, though, there's no Santa, elves, reindeer. There's no
Santa, elves, or reindeer in the spirit of Christmas. There's no Santa, elves, or reindeer in Home Alone.
Yeah, but you'll find that I rated all of those movies a little lower than they would go if they were more
There is
Christmas
no
themed.
Santa, elves, or reindeer in Muppets: A Christmas Carol.
I feel like the Family Man's a great movie. You should watch it. You can watch it any time of year. I don't know if it's necessarily a Christmas film.
It's a Christmas film.
If it was had more Christmas iconography in it, I feel like it would go higher.
I highly recommend it.
I highly recommend it too. 12. Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Yes.
I feel like this movie is low on the list for a couple reasons.
You
One,
can't watch it with the
you
kids.
can't show it to kids.
Can't show it to kids.
2, there is a better version of Christmas Carol on this list.
Yes.
So I think those two things hurt it the most. Though I found it enjoyable. Bill Murray's a funny guy.
Mhm.
The movie's fun.
Yep.
But I think for the reasons that you can't watch it with kids, and there's a better version of this story on this list as well, is why it went down the list for me.
That's fair.
Yeah. Number 11, National Lampoon's Christmas. I feel like this movie would have went lower on my list if the last 20 minutes weren't so ridiculous.
Yeah.
The first part of the movie, I was like, man, this is slow and meandering, and it's not that funny. I feel like the humor of 40 years ago is not translating that much today.
That's fair.
I love the National Lampoon movie with Ryan Reynolds in it.
Never seen it.
Van Wilder. Party Liaison, I think's the name of it. I like it. I'm pretty sure it's a bad movie, but I like it.
I mean, this one also is a little hard to show your kids. Like,
No, I
there's
wouldn't show
some
this.
parts-
I wouldn't show this to a young child. No.
No, not to a young child. Maybe once they get to a certain age.
Yeah, but I didn't find it that funny or that entertaining. I thought it was meandering until like the last third of it.
Mhm.
Things really get out of hand, and that's when it gets fun enough to be entertaining. And 11th on this list.
Yeah.
Number 10, and I feel like the next 3 are going to be controversial.
This is real weird. This
but
is real
but
weird.
I think you might agree with me by the end of this.
I don't know about that.
Number 10 is the Santa Claus 1.
Yes.
It's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there is a little too much family drama, especially when they drag him into court to take his kid away from him to be like a very enjoyable Christmas movie. We need to lose some of this family drama, but it's a classic.
Yes.
Anything you want to say about it?
I don't know. I like Bernard.
Yeah, I like Bernard.
I like Bernard.
Number 9.
I like the tinsel thing when he's in the prison and the elves come and they got the tinsel and they break him out.
Oh yeah.
And then like one of the other prisoners is like, "Hey, can I have some of that tinsel?"
Yeah, but that's that's what I'm saying. Like throw him in prison, like he kidnaps his kid. It's a little bit too much family drama for me. Number 9 is the Santa Claus 2. I thought this was much better,
Okay.
but I felt like the premise was like, wow, we should make another one, and it took 8 years to make this one.
Listen, your entire the internet agrees with you. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus 2 is all over the place, but I like the love.
No, I think
I
you
like
should.
the
I think you
love.
should definitely because you made the point that they show Santa Claus 1 and Santa Claus 3 on TV.
Yes. It doesn't make they go, "All right, here's Santa Claus 1. All right, here's Santa Claus 3." They don't explain how he gets a
Yeah.
wife.
I mean, I guess it's fine. It's whatever. You just assume he got Mrs. Claus at some point.
But it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, the second movie's all over the place.
The
but
second movie's weird because it's like, well, what Santa needs a wife.
Yeah.
They make a toy Santa that takes over and is basically like a dictator.
yeah, I don't get that plot point at all. Why could he could have just left Bernard in charge? You know?
It's real weird.
Yeah.
It's real weird.
It's all over the place, but I think it's more entertaining.
I love Bernard.
There's like no family drama now, pretty much. You know?
There's not
They're
a lot of family.
Santa's not going to child custody court and all that.
No, but like Charlie is on the naughty list.
Oh yeah,
and
I don't like that too much either.
Is like graffitiing stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, he's doing it in the spirit of Christmas.
yeah.
Like, he's doing Christmas graffiti.
Yeah. He's like, man, they hate Christmas. Let me graffiti a tree. But yeah, it is all over the place. But I think it's a funner
And
watch.
then, like, Comet is, like, super obese.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, can't take Comet back. Let's get the Tooth Fairy.
So, number 8, and Santa Claus 1 and 2 are entertaining. Number 8 is Santa Claus 3. And it's also an entertaining. And I'll tell you what. Santa Claus 3 might be the lowest rated of these on Rotten Tomatoes.
It is. It is the lowest rated.
But I think it's the most entertaining. It's the most fun Santa Claus movie to watch.
It's really fun.
Martin Short is amazing. And I think it helps because it's the first movie we have a actual bad guy. And Martin Short's such a great villain.
Yes.
And it's...
Well, Jack Frost is the villain.
Yeah.
Martin Short is a delight
Yeah.
of a human being.
The movie's very fun to watch. And I think, like... I mean, you have to watch all 3
Yes.
every year.
Yes.
But I like the third one the most.
The third one's really
Yeah.
good.
If you had to just rate Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3, where would you put them? Rank them?
I don't know. I really like 2.
Yeah?
And I like 1. I like them all. I'm not good at this ranking thing.
Okay, so you're gonna have to agree with me that 3 is the
Listen,
best.
3 has that weird thing of like I forget the girl's name. What's the little girl's name? The little girl, he's like, oh, you have the warmest hugs, and then apparently she does actually have the
Oh yeah,
warmest
she
hugs.
unthaws Jack Frost.
She like defrosts Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
You the problem you had with the first one is you're like, well, they make Scott Calvin seem to be like a bad father, but he doesn't seem like a bad father.
Yeah. That is something.
They're like, oh, well, he's a bad dad because he. Well, I mean, there's some hints
Yeah.
of like, well, he didn't show up to pick Charlie up at the right time, and Charlie's like, I don't want to be with Dad.
Yeah.
And then like he burns the turkey, so they have to go to Denny's or something.
Yeah, I mean, they say he's a bad dad, but all I see is a single father trying his best to connect to his son. That's what I see in the beginning of this movie.
But then you see Santa Claus 3, and they're like, oh, well, this is what would happen if he never got to be Santa Claus, and he just doesn't interact with his family ever and is working on Christmas, and like it seemed like he enjoyed Christmas and he wanted to keep the spirit of Christmas alive in his kid.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I feel like 3 really sends it home of like, yeah, he's so corporate.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's weird.
So, number 7
Mhm.
is The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
Yes.
This is entertaining. I feel like this is one you have to watch every year. I think that my problem with this movie is that there's not enough Jim Carrey. He's kind of restrained a bit, and it's probably because of the makeup and all that. But I want more Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey wackiness.
Well, I mean,
but you don't really get that.
They still like, hey, Jim Carrey, do this thing, have fun. You know, that's what people do with Jim Carrey. They're like, Jim Carrey, go in a room and do stuff. You know, like in Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
They like there's outros where he's just like in a kitchen and he's just doing random stuff with a bunch of different things, and it's like, do that, Jim Carrey. And they did that with certain scenes, like the one where
he like rips the shirt and all that.
Well, the part, I don't know if the ripping the shirt thing, I'm sure that's part of it. But the part where he gets he's supposed to pull the tablecloth off the table.
Yeah. And
everything was supposed to fall down, but he pulls it off and everything stays up, and he goes back and knocks it all down, and that's the take they kept, you know? I love.
Yeah.
I like it more than the cartoon version.
I mean, it's 7th on my list of 25. I want more Jim Carrey wackiness, and they don't sing the songs.
They sing some of the songs.
I don't know. I like the songs from The Grinch a lot, and I feel like they're underplayed in the live
they
action
sang
film.
the mean one, Mr. Grinch. They sang the
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just felt they weren't upfront enough. It's still number 7th. Number 6 is The Nightmare Before Christmas. I think it's an excellent film, and we discussed this on our Halloween episode as well. And on there, I took off points because it's too Christmassy to be a Halloween movie. Now it's losing points because it's a bit too Halloween to be the best Christmas movie. It's an excellent film. You have to watch it for both holidays, I feel like.
I don't know. I think it's more of a Christmas movie than it is a Halloween
No, it
movie.
is more of a Christmas movie, but it's weird, you know? It's not super Christmassy. You know, it's a little dark and gothic.
they were geniuses.
Yeah.
geniuses for this idea of like it's a Christmas movie and a Halloween movie. But, you know, I think it's more of a Christmas movie than a Halloween movie.
I mean, it's an excellent film, but it's 6 on the list because I feel like the next 5 films are a little more upbeat.
I feel like Nightmare Before Christmas is the last Halloween movie you watch.
Yeah.
So that you can start gearing up for Christmas.
Yeah, sure. Number 5, I picked Home Alone.
The original.
It's an excellent film.
It's great.
I feel like it's still one of these that happen around Christmas. It doesn't have all the Christmas iconography to make it like super Christmassy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like Santa and Rudolph and stuff don't show up. But it's such a great movie. It's one of the all-time classics.
Yes.
It's so fun.
You got Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
You had Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah. It's an excellent movie, and I think the greatness of the film kind of boosts it past the fact that it's not really super Christmassy.
I mean, there are some parts like, you know, he goes to buy a toothbrush, or he talks to the old man who he thinks is like killing children, but the old man is just old and alone and sad on Christmas. And then you've got like the mom traveling cross country, not the dad, the mom traveling across country, getting into random cars with people who happen to be polka bands. It's odd,
yeah.
But it's still a good movie.
Yeah. At number 4, Elf with Will Ferrell.
My sister would disagree with you. She does not like this movie.
Will Ferrell is hilarious. I feel like Will Ferrell shines through more in this role than Jim Carrey did with The Grinch.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that helps it out a lot. And it is littered with Christmas iconography because he's an elf from the North Pole, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I found a thing where it's like they just put Will Ferrell in the elf costume,
yeah.
And the parts where he's just in New York in the elf costume is just that. It's Will Ferrell in an elf costume interacting with actual people in New York. Like the guy he comes up to and he's like, "Oh, it's Santa!"
Mm-hmm.
And he's in a red like jogging suit. That guy was not planned. That whole interaction was not planned. They were just like, go have fun.
Yeah, so this movie is hilarious. It's also kind of heartwarming. There's a love interest with Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah, and they sing Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yeah, I love this movie. I love Will Ferrell. One of my favorite movies of all time is Talladega Nights. Will Ferrell's amazing.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Talladega Nights?
No.
Oh.
You know this.
Oh. Next on the list at number 3 is Christmas Story. This is the first time I've ever seen this movie.
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story. It's the first time I've ever seen this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was so awesome.
It was great. It's a great movie.
It's one of those, it's from 83, but somehow the humor in it works.
Well, it's supposed to be, it's like set, like the setting of the movie is like...
The mid-40s.
Yeah, the mid-40s, and it's this man telling the story of his this
childhood.
one Christmas in his youth when all he wanted was the Red Ryder BB gun with the compass in the stock and a thing that tells time.
Which I had a Red Ryder BB gun. I got it when I was like 4 for Christmas, and I felt like it's just because maybe my dad saw this when he was a kid, and they didn't have enough money to get him that, and he wanted it, so I got that as a child for a Christmas gift.
And the mantra of this movie is, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid."
And the thing that he does in this film at the end, where he's shooting the BB gun and it like hits something metal and bounces back at him, I shot myself many times as a kid by shooting at it like a ball made of metal, and it bounces back and like hits you in the shins or something. I've had that happen. So
yeah.
Be careful out there. But this movie was entertaining all the way through. It was funny. It was great. I love this movie. I feel like you're not going to show it to a little kid.
No.
But
because the leg. The sexy leg.
But I liked it a lot. Maybe 10, 12, you show it to them. They're probably fine with that.
It was funny because one of our neighbors had the lamp.
Really?
In the window, and I pointed it out to you, I think it was like a couple years ago, and you were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the lamp from A Christmas Story, and you're like, okay. And
yeah.
I'm like,
so we're watching this every year. I really liked it. I would recommend y'all see it if you haven't. It holds up.
It's so good.
Yeah. Number 2, Grinch, the original cartoon. And I think this movie has a lot going for it. First, it is a classic story.
The problem I have with the Grinch, the original one, is they're singing the songs or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. They're singing that song,
Yeah.
right? They literally stop singing the song and something else happens, and then they start singing the song again. They do that 2 times
Yeah.
with this
Well,
song.
I mean, they stopped to show the Grinch doing mean things, though.
No, but it's either they'll stop,
Mhm.
they'll do some reading from the book,
Yeah.
and then they'll continue the song.
Yeah, that's paced weirdly. But I feel like the movie is based on the classic story, right? Everyone knows how the Grinch stole Christmas, right?
Uh-huh.
Classic story. The songs are all awesome, and they're front and center in this version. The movie is 25 minutes long at the most. It is in and out. And it's a great story. It's short, sweet. The songs are awesome. I love it.
I think you definitely have nostalgia glasses on for this, and usually I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I also I've watched that movie tons
Yeah.
of times, but it was just kind of like it was a little annoying to me this year. I don't know why. Maybe because I knew that we were going to watch the Jim Carrey one later, and I love that one a lot more. I mean, I had a friend in high school who hated that movie.
Yeah.
But, you know, we watched it on Netflix.
Jim Carrey's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they took out scenes.
I feel like maybe Netflix's is like the original theatrical cut and you watched a director's cut.
No. Because, I mean, like, we just had the DVD. I don't think it was a director's cut DVD. Plus, I've seen on TV, they add more scenes when they show the movie on TV.
Yeah,
They don't take out scenes.
Yeah, for runtime or something. I don't know. I don't think because the scenes
I've also noticed that they do this with the Harry Potter movies when they show them on TV.
Yeah.
Is they add scenes, and I'm like, where is this scene when I'm watching it at home on my VHS or my DVD or whatever? It's confusing.
It has to do something with runtime because the scenes you described, there's no reason they would cut them out.
There's no it's not like they were playing a copywritten song, which they have. I think they do a little bit because they did the Christmas is Going to the Dogs, but why wouldn't they just clearly they had to buy the song to put it in the movie. It was just weird. It was a weird aspect.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Grinch Original #2, excellent film.
I would have put it lower. That's my personal opinion.
And now at #1, my favorite Christmas movie, which is a movie Courtney showed me last year. I'd never seen this before.
Did I show it to you last year or the year before?
Recently. I saw this as an adult when Courtney showed it to me, either last year or the year before. Is Muppets A Christmas Carol?
Yes.
It's so fun. It's
so good.
Yeah, it's so good. The songs are great. The Muppets are lovable. It's based off of A Christmas Carol, which is probably the most classic Christmas story of all time.
There's barely any actual people in it. It's mostly Muppets, but like Scrooge is an actual person. It's Michael Caine.
Yeah, oh, so good. I love the I forget the song that it's in, but when the mice sing their part, there's no cheese.
No cheeses for us Mises.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Muppets A Christmas Carol is my favorite Christmas movie.
I think it's like, here comes Mr. Humbug, here comes Mr. Grinch.
Yeah,
they're talking about like, here's Scrooge.
Yeah, I love Muppets A Christmas Carol. It's so great.
Yeah.
Which one of these would you say is your favorite?
Probably either Muppets A Christmas Carol or the original Home Alone.
Really?
Yeah, those are just the classics to me.
And your least favorite?
My least favorite might have been Rudolph.
You're gonna put Rudolph least favorite? I thought you would put Star Wars least favorite.
Star Wars was at least it wasn't like sexist.
Yeah, you have to watch part 1 of our Christmas special
like,
to get our takes on Rudolph.
You have to like watch the Star Wars movies obviously to appreciate it. But it was kind of meh. But like Rudolph, I was just sitting there like, just come on.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see here. I'm just gonna read this real quick and go through which ones I would watch next year. Which ones you have to keep in rotation, right?
We have to watch A Year Without a Santa Claus.
Sure.
Not the holiday special. Not the Star Wars one.
Not Rudolph.
Not Rudolph.
Not Jack Frost.
No.
Not Frosty.
No.
I think we have to watch Home Alone 2 just because you have to watch 1 and 2 together.
Yes. Spirit of Christmas,
sure.
Obviously.
Pole Express.
Sure.
Not Jingle All the Way, I don't think.
No.
Miracle on 34th Street, we'll watch the 1994 one next year.
Sure.
Mickey's Once Upon Christmas.
Yeah, probably
Charlie
Twice
Brown.
Around Christmas as well.
Yeah, Charlie Brown.
Sure.
Maybe not The Family Man. I wouldn't watch it as a Christmas movie every year, but I'd watch it again. You know, not Scrooged.
No, because we already have Christmas Carol.
I guess maybe National Lampoon's Christmas. It was fine. All three Santa Claus, Grinch, Nightmare Before Christmas, Home Alone, Elf, Christmas Story, Grinch Original, and Muppets. So
there's some more like stop motiony ones that we could throw in.
I mean, we have two different discs that are packed with old
like
Christmas movies.
Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But there's like a Jack Frost stop motion one where it includes like Groundhog Day as well in there.
Maybe.
That one's good, so maybe that one. We could also do some more of like the Hallmark ones or the Lifetime.
Maybe I'll let
ones.
you. Maybe next year I'll let you throw an additional one in there. Because I mean, if we're taking out like 5 or 6, 7 of these, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like there's enough out there to keep 25.
And you know, there's plenty of newer
coming
Christmas
out.
movies. Maybe we'll watch the new Grinch that came out.
Sure, we'll watch 3 Grinches in 1 year.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, as this podcast keeps going, one of these Christmas specials will have finally nailed down the perfect 25 films to watch.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like when we do this again next year, we should only comment on the ones that we watched new.
Yeah, that we added.
And then, like, maybe figure out where they hold up.
Yeah. So that's our Christmas special for this year. Thanks for watching, guys. And now we're going to get on into the closing thoughts. We're going to start with Kita's Corner. What does Kita want us to know this week?
Kita would like to remind everyone to spay and neuter your pets, to adopt from a shelter. Maybe don't adopt or get an animal just for Christmas and then just throw it out in the cold. That's not very nice. Don't do that. Kita demands to have more Christmas presents.
How many does she have in her stocking? Because we gave her
She has 3.
We gave her a toy already.
Yes.
That is automated and it like moves this thing underneath the covering. And she has to attack it, right?
She loves it.
Yeah, she loves that. And we gave her a new cat tree, which she loves as well. She's currently asleep in it.
In the up.
Yeah, and in the stocking she has a Yeti stuffed animal toy.
Yes. She has a squirrel.
Yes, a squirrel toy. And she has like a special like top tier wet food. It has like a scallop on it, and it looks good. It looks good.
You would eat it?
I would no. I'm just saying like if you're ranking like cat wet food, this looks like some primo cat wet food.
Well, we gotta get her some treats.
Perhaps, yeah, we might need to go.
We got her some hairball treats and she hates them.
That is true. They were the best looking ones at the pet store when we went. So
yeah,
that's upsetting. And now let's get on into the interesting fact. I have 2. I have the 5 most streamed Christmas films that were on our list.
And I'm gonna do that one, and you can do the other one.
And then I have the 5 most streamed Christmas songs, and both of these are for this year.
Yes.
This is as of the Christmas song article came out Thursday, so this is like pretty up to date. And the Christmas movies came out, I think, last week was when that data was collected.
So the most streamed Christmas films on our list. So number 1 is Elf.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Number 3, Jim Carrey's The Grinch. Number 4, Home Alone. And number 5, Scrooged.
I think something about this list to keep in mind is that some of these movies we had to watch on disc. Mm-hmm. Like The Grinch, like Rudolph, Frosty.
Yeah.
Some of these you can't stream, so keep that in mind.
Or like, you know, you can watch them on TV.
Yeah. This is streamed.
Yeah.
What do you think about that list? That seem about fair?
It's interesting that Scrooged is on there.
That's the one that I thought was interesting. I was like, wow, Scrooge made it on here.
I mean, like, sure, they play it every year when I'm on TV. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of like a not for children.
Yeah. But I mean, people love Bill Murray.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I love Bill Murray.
What was the name of that documentary on? Was it on Netflix?
I think it was on Netflix.
It's about Bill Murray. It's just weird stories about Bill Murray popping up in people's lives.
Yeah. It was just like, just random stuff he does.
Yeah.
To just make people's lives a little bit better. You know, like stealing someone's fry and going, no one will ever believe you.
Yeah.
Or showing up at a party and doing the dishes.
Yeah, so you guys should Google around. It's a documentary. I think it's on Netflix. It came out last year. It's pretty recent. It was really good. But people love Bill Murray, so I can see why Scrooge is on there.
Yeah, That's true.
So the top 5 most streamed Christmas songs, and these are by a single artist. So if it's like a song that's been covered a lot, it's not all of them combined. It's just a single version of that song.
Well, you didn't
say
not, which one is
Nope,
which.
I did not write down the artist. So you guys are going to have to look this up yourself if you want to know the artist.
Cool.
Number 1 is All I Want for Christmas. This one's clearly by Mariah Carey.
That's a good one. Fantastic.
Number 2 is Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, which is my favorite
Also
Christmas
great.
song.
Yeah.
Number 3, it's The Most Wonderful Time of the Year.
Most wonderful time. Okay.
Number 4 is Last Christmas, which is a Wham song.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good one.
And number 5 is Jingle Bell Rock.
That one's good.
So I mean, this is a pretty good list.
I forgot of one of my favorites, which is Carol of the Bells. I like that, and I also like Sleigh Ride.
I like Sleigh Ride. What's Carol of the Bells?
Carol of the Bells is basically just like it's like dun dun dun. It's basically I was in band in high school, middle school, elementary school, and we played that one every year, and we played Sleigh Ride every year.
Yeah.
So that's why those are important to me.
Yeah. I mean, those are all good songs. I love Christmas songs. We have a playlist. It's the Apple curated one. But there's
we need to put some more on there.
Yeah, and take some off.
There were some weird ones.
Yeah, and there's some covers that are new that I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could probably get a banger of a playlist with like 40 Christmas songs.
We need to get one started. We already have like our wedding playlist that we're getting together. Which, if we do have our wedding around in like December, we'll
need a Christmas song.
We might need a Christmas song.
Yeah. So that's it for our Christmas special. I hope you all enjoyed both parts of it. Next episode, I think if everything works out correctly, is going to be our Wonder Woman 1984 review and DCEU discussion episode.
Yeah, and I already have another episode in the works.
Yeah, it's going to be a Pokemon-themed episode. So I think how the show is going to go for the next couple of weeks is going to be the Wonder Woman 1984 DCEU discussion.
Yep.
Mandalorian Season 2 review.
Yep.
And then the Pokemon episode.
Yep. So
we have a pretty good list of content coming out for the next few weeks. Hope you guys listen to all of those.
And if you like Pokemon cards, check out the Instagram or pictures of Kita.
Yeah, check out the Instagram. Check us out on Twitter for updates on the show and when things go live. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We really enjoyed doing it. Can't wait for next year where we get some new movies in the running.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
What's the next holiday we could do an episode on? Because we're not going to do New Year's.
Maybe Valentine's Day?
I don't know if Valentine's Day has enough to really talk about, honestly.
I mean, there's that movie called Valentine's Day.
Sure. I don't know what the next one's going to be.
I mean, Easter, we do some stuff for that, but Easter's really sort of like a religious thing. And
St. Patty's Day really doesn't have much.
No.
4th of July is just American. It's not really much going on there. So maybe this is the end for
President's Day.
President's Day. I think our holiday special is going to be Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas each year. I can't think of another good holiday to do a special.
No, maybe not like, I don't know about Thanksgiving again, because we didn't really have a ton to talk about.
Yeah, true.
It was just like, what do you eat? Where do you go? But like Halloween
and Christmas,
those were pretty good.
So thank you guys for listening to this, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Nerds at Odds is made possible by our supporters over on patreon.com/nerdsatodds. If you want to become a member of our community and gain access to the show 4 days early, gain the ability to submit your questions, comments, and concerns, and so much more, consider supporting us over there. Thank you, and have a great day.